Hi, I'm Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast, and today, yes, I'm joining you from the Keys today. This is my backdrop, all right? Family had left, so we have no special guests today, but we do have a great episode. We're gonna be talking about just a double back, really, actually, in that last episode that I had my brother on. We talked about the Elon hate and the Tesla hate and dealing with stuff, and what new news just dropped in the past 24 hours that we have to talk about. So let's get down to it. Alrighty, you may have heard President Trump has now labeled the people that go after Tesla, Tesla owners, Tesla company, etc., as domestic terrorists. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, here's the thing. You've got local law enforcement that, you know, they're dealing with stuff as they can. If people cut you off and brake check you, a lot of times these cops just don't want to deal with it and get involved. And that's why I strongly suggested calling 911, right, and reporting it as road rage, because they will respond to that. It's life-threatening, and they'll send a car out, just like we talked about on the episode yesterday. Now, suppose the cops do come out and you've got that video, whether it's from the dash cam from Test Studio we told you about, or whether it's from your Sentry, etc. Again, that Test Studio dash cam, definite must have, okay? Especially in today's day and age with everything going on. But here's what I want to make sure I talk to you about. When the cops go ahead and pull you over, my brother had talked about being crystal clear, right? Articulate everything without emotion, all right? Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts, right? So you want to make sure during that conversation with the police officer that you remind him that this gentleman is a domestic terrorist and the president has orders about this. Now, what you can do is you can actually escalate this to the FBI and Homeland Security as well, Department of Homeland Security, DHS. And the reason why I want to mention this is because back in 2020, the governor of Michigan, not Caitlyn Jenner, even though she looks just like her, the governor of Michigan, there was a plan to kidnap her, okay? Now, these guys who went to kidnap her were part of some kind of extremist group, all right? Well, they went ahead and they got that group listed as domestic terrorists. So when they arrested these guys, they really threw the book at it. Instead of getting 3 to 7 years, these guys got 15 to 20 years because they were branded as domestic terrorists. So when these guys brake check you and cut you off or damage your car, like we saw in that video, right, in New Orleans, where the guy was banging on the side and cracked the glass, or the other one I showed you where they spray painted the side of the car, okay? Whenever people do damage to these vehicles, they now have the unfortunateness of being tried with federal charges now as domestic terrorists. Now that will do a couple things. That will flag things with the ATF and DHS. So if they have a license for a handgun, guess what? They ain't owning a handgun anymore, okay? DHS, so when they go to travel, guess what? They're gonna have some flight situations to deal with. They're gonna lose their TSA pre-check, okay? And for those of you who use the TSA pre-check, and for those of you who have 2A, you know, you lose those rights, that's gonna suck. And this is good news for us because honestly, it's being taken too lightly. And again, and I'll say this again, I said it twice in the last video. These guys think it's fun and think it's cool to do this, right? Until someone gets their ass kicked. And that's gonna happen, all right? Now, some of these guys who've done things to their cars, you know, the owners have been very patient. They've either gotten away or just dealt with it. They're gonna get to one person that's not going to be tolerant, okay? And once they either catch them in the act of defiling their truck or their car or keying it or breaking a window, doing anything like that, then someone's going to respond a little hard-handed. Maybe it'll stop, but these guys are all paid activists, okay? Very few of them are doing this because they really just truly hate Elon and hate Tesla. They're doing this because, you know, they're getting paid, okay? There are organizations that are paying these people. Now, let's get back to this domestic terrorism thing. You want to make sure, if you're one of the unfortunate people who's had to deal with this situation, that you're ensuring that the police label them as in the police report. You tell them This gentleman was attacking me because of my car, and only because of my car. In fact, bait the guy, you know, before the cops come, or when the cops get there, just say, you just don't like it because it's a Tesla. You don't like it because it's a Cybertruck. You just don't like Elon. And as soon as they say yes, boom, you got them, okay? Because now they've already acknowledged to the cop the reason why they're going after you is because they hate Tesla, they hate Elon, they hate the Cybertruck. And once they do that, now they've branded themselves as a domestic terrorist. All right, they've acknowledged what they've done. The reason for what they did is the fact that they have this insane hatred in their mind because they're sad, sad people, okay? I know a couple sad people, and you know what? You're not gonna change them. They're just mentally screwed in the head. So here's the thing. You wanna make sure the cop understands that, and if the cop is not, and the police department is not doing enough charges, if they're not trumping it up enough, you have the right to reach out to the FBI, okay? Do a second report with the FBI. Give them the video, give them all the report, all the contact information from the police, and say you want this gentleman investigated as a domestic terrorist because, you know, it was a hate crime, right? And this gentleman, you fear for your life, and you want him investigated because you believe he belongs to an organization or he's getting paid from an organization, okay? Make sure you say that. That either he belongs to or is getting paid from an organization that supports domestic terrorism and is specifically targeting and going after people with Teslas. And per the president stating that these people are now going to be treated as domestic terrorists, you want him investigated. You get the FBI to come out. There's FBI offices in every major city, even smaller cities, and they'll come out and do a report on this gentleman, okay? They've got the police report. They're going to interview him, make this guy's life difficult, especially if they have to go visit him at his place of work. That'll make it even more embarrassing for them, okay? And I'm telling you this because we have to stay vigilant. We have to stay together, united as a team, because there's no way this is gonna stop unless we just band together and say enough is enough. This is it, all right? We like our trucks, we like our cars, we like Tesla, we like Elon, and we're supporting him, and we're not gonna be just trashed anymore. Now, the cool thing is Trump did this great thing at the White House. You know, it's kind of like the antithesis to what Biden did. Biden had an EV summit, brought a bunch of EVs there, except Teslas, and touted this big push for EVs. Well, Trump, he did the opposite. He did a push for EVs, but the only EV he was pushing was Tesla. The support for Elon, the support for this company, because this is the only company that really, truly brought EVs to the mainstream. They make the best EVs out there. You guys know, you drive them every day. My wife and I, that's all we drive. But I have to say, in the Florida Keys, I've got my ice down here. I've got my old Tundra down here. So this is where we keep our ice vehicle. So that's what I have to drive. I don't have my Cybertruck. So you know, it's a little painful to drive. I actually have to manually drive. No FSD for me today. But you know what? Down here, there's so little stress. Look at this. I'm gonna go a little higher here. There's no stress. I'll drive. I don't care. Now, it sucks that we had to do these episodes yesterday and today, but we have to make sure that you guys know how to take full advantage of this. God forbid something happens to you. Now, I want you guys to stay safe out there. I appreciate you joining me in the Keys for the last couple days, and we're gonna have some products to review next week. We've got a light bar coming in that we're gonna review. We also have some other parts that just got dropped. I can't name them yet. We've got 5 new videos for you next week. We have at least half of those videos are parts we're gonna be reviewing and actually talking about my Cybertruck. And by the way, there's Lorelai's behind me. I might have to go there for a drink and some live music tonight. And hope you guys, if you ever get a chance to come down to the Keys, Islamorada is just the most awesome key there is. Now, Key West is fun. It's a party town, but Islamorada, the best fishing, the best people, the best sandbars, the best waters. This is just absolutely heaven here on earth here. And if you need a place to stay, I've got some links below. We've got 2 homes down here you can rent, and they're just absolutely spectacular. This one's on the bay side, so if you have a boat, whether you rent or want to bring one down, you've got a dedicated boat slip here with water and power. You have a fish cleaning station over here. We have a bait freezer at the house. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Brand new home, it's only a couple years old. Stainless steel Bosch appliances in the kitchen, wine refrigerator, just stocked to the hilt. It's a gorgeous home. It has its own private dunk pool, and it's got a big public pool right here in a very small gated community. Our other home's on the ocean side, and that is for the people who just want to live life just in a whole nother level. 3 acres with your private beach, the only pool built on top of the ocean in the Florida Keys. That house is just stunning. Both houses rent for the week as a week minimum. And so great places to come visit if you ever want to enjoy the Florida Keys, because there's no need to go to Bahamas, no need to go Turks and Caicos and Aruba and have to go through customs and currency crap. It's right here in the US. Just fly into Miami or Lauderdale or fly into Key West, rent a car, enjoy the scenery, enjoy this week. And I'm gonna enjoy this week, and next week I'll be joining you guys back from South Carolina. So I appreciate you joining me. Guys, be vigilant. You know we support you, we support Elon. There's that mad love we've got together, right? We all are brethren in this. So again, hit like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys again tomorrow.